Part 95. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 941. Chu Wei, compared to the minister's wild laughter, Jin Mo in the distance made a heartbreaking sound. She ran in the direction of Chu Wei desperately. She didn't care whether she was the minister's opponent or not. At this moment all she wanted to do was go over and see how Chu Wei was doing. However, she couldn't get through it at all, because Chu Wei's 4 supernatural life forms surrounded her, making it impossible for her to get through. Ha ha ha. How sad your little lover screams, but even if she comes to save you, it's just one more person who will die in my hands. I can crush countless weaklings like you to death with one hand. Do you know the difference between us now? A strong person in the realm of an emperor is simply not something that you, a weak person in the realm of a king, can challenge. The minister raised his head in laughter and smiled at the sky, looking extremely arrogant. Chu Wei's life is already in his hands. Now he only needs to take his body and bring it back to the headquarters of Science Fiction City. His glory and wealth will come soon. He will live a more powerful life in the future than he does now. He can stay at the headquarters, and he can live a life where most things depend on his face. And all of this is thanks to Chu Wei. Ha ha ha. You laugh so annoyingly. However, at this moment, a sudden voice sounded in front of him. Chu Wei, who was originally so injured that he couldn't even speak, said these extremely cold words. The minister was shocked, but in the next second, a dark spear suddenly pierced his back like a fatal spear, and the black spear tip emerged from his chest. But there was no blood on the tip of the spear, because the blood brought out had been swallowed up by the black spear. This spear has the ability to devour. This scene seemed so reversed. The person who was clearly arrogant just now was on the verge of death the next second. How is that possible? The minister's eyes widened. His sword had clearly pierced the opponent's vital point just now. There was no way the opponent could still resist, because he was about to die. The minister looked at Chu Wei's chest with difficulty. The long sword in his hand was still stuck in his chest, but the bleeding chest had stopped bleeding at this moment, and there was heat coming from the wound. Quickly repair the opponent's wounds. You have martial arts skills to repair the body, but you were injured on purpose. You lied to me, the minister said as he spurted a mouthful of blood. As soon as his body shook, he mobilized the huge spiritual energy in his body to fight against the spear inserted in his chest. However, even if he is a strong man in the emperor's realm, he is powerless after the devouring power enters his body. If devouring is a head-on battle, he may not even be able to swallow the supernatural power due to the powerful spiritual energy in his body. But he was careless and was pierced into his body by the spear transformed by the devouring power. Now the devouring power is crazily devouring everything in his body. It's useless. You underestimate the devouring power, and you underestimate me too. You think I can't hurt you, but you never expected that I would deliberately hit you with the sword to make you relax your vigilance. Then I'll take the opportunity to kill you. You think you are very powerful, but in my opinion, you are just a stronger idiot. Chu Wei's faint voice pierced into the minister's heart like sharp thorns. Although he is very powerful, he can only live a little longer than others at this moment. If this continues, sooner or later, the devouring power will completely engulf his body. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 942. What? Didn't expect it? My recovery skills are so strong that my injuries will heal in a short time. Even though your sword is still in my body, the internal injuries caused by the lightning on your sword have completely healed at this moment. I said, you know nothing about me. You are a fool who thinks you are arrogant because of your age and strength, so your death is doomed. Chu Wei continued to speak, and every time he said a word, the minister couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Obviously, every word of Chu Wei made his heart churn. When he was constantly devoured by this devouring power, he felt regret in his heart. He hated himself for being arrogant. If he wasn't arrogant, no matter how powerful Chu Wei was, he couldn't kill him so easily. He didn't use the power of the emperor at all. He was plotted against. As Chu Wei said, he pretended to be cool, otherwise, it would not be the result now. But the more he pretended to be cool at the beginning, the more he regretted it now. I will fight you. The minister's eyes were red. He no longer used his powerful superpowers and spiritual energy to resist the devouring superpower, but chose to gather the spiritual energy to give Chu Wei the final blow. Want to fight? You think too much. Chu Wei didn't even move his eyelids. The minister had just gathered the spiritual energy to release martial arts. At the moment when the spiritual energy was transferred away, the devouring spear inserted in the chest instantly had nothing to resist it. Swoosh! At a speed visible to the naked eye, the muscles and blood on the minister's chest shrank instantly, and the speed of this shrinkage instantly spread to the whole body. The minister's eyes were terrified. This was the fear of death. Mobilize. The minister transferred back the spiritual energy that was just used to die with Chu Wei, and wanted to defend against the devouring superpower again. At the moment of death, he gave up the idea of dying with Chu Wei. After all, people don't want to really die. But it was too late. Before he could defend again, the devouring superpower had completely devoured him. When the long spear that devoured the energy turned into a tentacle and covered his head, Chu Wei said lightly, "It's true that you are an idiot, and you are also a cowardly idiot. If you really wanted to die with me just now, although you couldn't kill me, I would definitely be seriously injured. But you gave up in the end and wanted to save your life, but the result was that you lost your life, and I didn't get the last blow from you. You are so indecisive, you are old and you deserve to die." At this moment, the minister's body was extremely weak, and the spiritual energy in his body had been devoured by the devouring energy. At this moment, his eyes began to dim, and he was going to die. Chu Wei's words before his death echoed in his ears. He always looked down on young people, and he killed many geniuses. He thought that as long as his realm was high, young people would not be his opponents, but this time he failed, and the defeat was very thorough and serious. He didn't have a chance to start over again. Finally, he looked deeply at Chu Wei and the young man who killed him. The minister who had reached the realm of the emperor died just like that. Disappear. The lightning sword that was stuck in Chu Wei's chest disappeared along with it, and the wound healed immediately under the heat. The skill of boiling blood was too strong. As long as he was not dead, he could recover in a very short time. The minister died, and Chu Wei's life form with supernatural powers no longer blocked Jin Mo'er. Plop, Jin Mo'er threw herself directly into Chu Wei's arms, sobbing and saying, "You bad guy, do you know? You scared me to death just now." Chu Wei's heart warmed up. Jin Mo'er's cry just now was so heartbreaking. I think he must have a very important position in her mind. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 943. Am I okay? This minister can't kill me, Chu Wei said, patting Jin Mo'er's delicate shoulder. You still said it was okay. You were pierced by his sword. Let me take a look quickly. Jin Mo'er then remembered that Chu Wei's chest was still injured. But when Jin Mo'er broke away from Chu Wei's arms and looked at Chu Wei's chest, she was shocked. There was nothing wrong with Chu Wei's chest. This was so dreamy. The place where Chu Wei was injured just now was a vital part of his chest. How could he recover so quickly? What kind of pervert is my boyfriend? The plump Jin Mo'er couldn't help but look at Chu Wei as if he were a pervert. Bizhoo. the continent where the headquarters of Science Fiction City is located. Chu Wei arrived here half a month later and was about to go directly to find the headquarters of Science Fiction City. Fantasy City. This is a big city that is 2 days away from the headquarters of Science Fiction City. Chu Wei is resting here today and will be on his way tomorrow. Wow! Look, Chu, those robot phoenixes are so cute. The streets of Huantian City are full of robot pets. Since they are made by machines, their appearance is set according to people's preferences. Some have the appearance of dragons, some have the appearance of phoenixes, and some have the appearance of angels. It looks very sci-fi. In addition to electronic pets, there are electronic street lights and electronic wayfinders everywhere on both sides of the street. As long as you want to go, the wayfinder will guide you, which is much easier to use than a map. The buildings on both sides are also layer by layer science and technology buildings. They look like steel and are very gorgeous. This is the city of Bizhu, very technologically dreamy. Chu Wei and Jin Mo were walking on the street, looking at each other like a couple going shopping. Jin Mo held Chu Wei's arm and leaned her perfect figure on Chu Wei's shoulder from time to time, just like a woman in love. Happy little girl. Hey, where is the beauty going? When the two of them were having fun shopping, several sports cars passed by Jin Mo and asked frivolously to Jin Mo. There were a total of 5 or 6 young men in the 2 sports cars, wearing various colorful haircuts. Take a look and see that these are retro non-mainstream hairstyles. It's none of your business where you go, really. Jin Mo said impatiently, turning her beautiful face aside and not looking at these guys. Drink oil, my little sister is quite spicy. She looks like a little hottie. No, she's a pretty little hottie. Ha ha ha, a group of people laughed in the car. At the same time, their eyes stayed on Jin Mo's body, especially 2 of them shamelessly looked at Jin Mo's long straight legs and big breasts. As for Chu Wei next to him, they simply ignored him. A bunch of hooligans, Jin Mo said disdainfully. Although she had long been accustomed to others looking at her because of her beauty, the naked gazes of these men still made her feel sick. Rogue. Haha, sister, you guessed it right, I am a gangster, and my name is the gangster of the buried love family, the young man with dyed red hair said in the car. Jin Mo, disgusting. Chu Wei frowned slightly. The name of the buried love family was very familiar to Chu Wei. He remembered that when he was a child, there were often a group of young people with afro hair and smoky makeup near his home, and they called themselves buried love family. Now that 500 has passed, these people are playing a retro game of killing Matt and burying the love family. I'll go. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 944. Drink, sister, what you said is an insult to me. I'm so handsome, but you actually said I'm disgusting. It seems you want to make things difficult for me. The gangster from the buried love family opened the car door and got out. Brother Rogue, maybe this girl doesn't really dislike you, but she likes you and deliberately says she's disgusting so as to attract your attention. This is how girls flirt with men nowadays. Several young people in the car next to them also got out, and they all looked at Jin Mo and Chu Wei with evil intentions. Bah, a bunch of disgusting guys, Jin Mo felt nauseated looking at these people. They all had afros, eyes painted like pandas, and lips painted dark purple. With this look, they went to act horror movies. Don't have to do any styling at all, just show your true colors. Moreover, some boys' clothes are slit on the chest, exposing their rib-like chest muscles, and they think they are handsome. Jin Mo really couldn't appreciate how handsome they were. Drink oil, sister, you are looking down on all of us. It seems that your brothers want to play with you, so that you can discover how good your brothers are. The gangster had a smirk on his face and looked at Jin Mo again. Those long legs, those big breasts, and her figure were amazing. Just looking at this figure, the gangster felt like there was a fire burning in his body. Today, this beauty herself gotta get her. At the same time, he glanced at Chu Wei, who was next to Jin Moer. Chu Wei was an ordinary man wearing a versatile mask. It's so good that such a beautiful cabbage has been taken over by a pig. Such a beautiful woman actually followed such an ordinary man. There was a strong look of jealousy in the gangster's eyes. If a beauty like Jin Moer was next to a rich and handsome man, he might feel better because he would take it for granted. But when Chu Wei next to Jin Moer turned out to be an ordinary-looking person, jealousy began to burn in the gangster's heart. Since such a beauty can even be owned by such an ordinary man, why can't he have it? You, get out of here now, you have nothing to do with me here. The gangster from the Burial Love family pointed directly at Chu Wei and said. He is a master who has awakened for the second time. Although his appearance is rather unusual, he is a well-known genius in Huantian City. Normally, anyone of the younger generation would respectfully call him Brother Rogue when they see him. At the same time, he doesn't know how many beauties he has picked up, but he doesn't particularly like the kind of beauties who come to his door automatically. He likes the kind of girls who casually hook up with him on the street. He considers this to be a manifestation of charm. Chu Wei raised his eyes and looked at Brother Rogue with a faint look, without any words or threatening words, he just looked at him lightly. However, it was this kind of calm look that made Brother Rogue feel uneasy for no reason. He had never seen such a calm look. It always feels a little unusual. Hey, classmate Xiao Chu, he wants to steal your girlfriend, won't you give some reaction? At this moment, Jin Moer next to him shook Chu Wei's arm as if he was watching a good show. At the same time, her tone was coquettish, and her plump and mature figure was leaning on Chu Wei's shoulders. Her naughty look could directly capture the heart of a young and talented man. Sure enough, the eyes of several men around him were instantly attracted to Jin Moer. Especially the gangster brother, he really wishes that a beauty like Jin Moer would immediately become his girlfriend, because Jin Moer is not only good-looking, but also said just now, classmate Xiao Chu, he wants to steal your girlfriend, don't you give me some help? Reaction. What a sentimental beauty this is. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 945. Such a beauty, she should belong to the gangster brother of my buried love family. I just said, you can get out, I don't want to say this again, Brother Rogue spoke again. At the same time, the uneasy feeling in her heart just now was blown away by Jin Moer's beauty. Crack. Just as he finished speaking, a powerful slap suddenly slapped him directly in the face as he couldn't resist. With a swish, the force of the slap was as strong as a truck that hit him. He was slapped for more than 10 meters and hit a car parked on the roadside until the glass shattered and shook continuously before it stopped. Brother Rogue, how are you? Brother Rogue. Several young people who were together immediately ran to the gangster brother. At this moment, the gangster brother's whole body was beaten and stuffed into the car through the door window. His head and legs were outside the car, but his butt was inside the car through the car window. Inside. We'll pull you out. Don't move. Brother Rogue waved his hand, my waist is broken. At the same time, Brother Rogue looked in the direction of Chu Wei with frightened eyes, only to see that man still looking at him with a faint gaze. At this moment, the gangster brother understood that look, and the other party didn't take him to heart at all. Let's go. Chu Wei turned his head. Chu Wei really had no interest in doing anything with these rubbish. At the same time, Chu Wei was also quite helpless. Every time a beautiful woman followed him, there would definitely be some who would cause trouble. But there's nothing he can do about it. Jin Moer looks like a meat bun, so he can't complain about being followed by a dog. Wow! Classmate Xiao Chu, you are so handsome, I admire you so much, Jin Moer said mischievously from the side. Chu Wei was speechless. Classmate Xiao Chu, If someone falls in love with your girlfriend, do you think your girlfriend is too good? Chu Wei. Classmate Xiao Chu, do you feel any pressure having a girlfriend like this that so many people like? Chu Wei, I'll spank you again. Rogue, Jin Moer said with a slightly red face. Ding. The host flirts with girls and spanks them, gangsters, and will be rewarded with 100 points of spiritual energy crystals. However, please keep up the good work, women don't love men unless they are bad. Chu Wei was speechless. He felt that he could no longer communicate with the system and walked directly into the distance. Brother Rogue, are we going to let them go like this? Beside the car, a young man with dyed green hair asked Brother Rogue, who still had his butt stuck in the car window. Cao Nima, what do you want? Do you want to go up and let him break your waist? Brother Rogue was furious. You really have no brains. Didn't you see that others would slap you if you awakened for the second time? Still going up? Doesn't that cost your own life? Yes, yes. We were wrong. Gangster brother, no brain. A group of people were silent. After a while, the gangster was furious again. Have your brains been eaten by shit? Didn't you see that I'm still stuck here? Get me out. Only then did a group of people remember that the gangster brother who had broken his waist was still stuck in the car window. Although the gangster brother is very strong, after his waist was broken, he did not dare to use spiritual energy randomly because his waist would hurt if he moved. In this way, everyone had no choice but to take the gangster with a broken waist and the car door to see a doctor. Chu Wei and Jin Moer are resting in the hotel tonight. When Jin Moer fell asleep, Chu Wei directly realized that he had gone to the 9-story extreme tower in the system space. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiang ZK. Chapter 946. Step. When Chu Wei stepped onto the 10,000-meter-long cosmic arena, a shining light shone in the sky, as if this huge arena was not virtual, but a place where geniuses from all races in the universe had fought. Ding. System prompts, today's opponent is being arranged for you. Challenge 3 opponents in a row to get a gold treasure chest. The rules here are still the same as before. Chu Wei is now an opponent at the 9th level of the king, and he is now eager to enter the emperor level. Although he has many trump cards, they are all external forces. He still hopes that his strength can beat all opponents. And now Chu Wei is facing opponents who are basically above the emperor level. Almost everyone knows that Chu Wei is invincible in the king level. After all, even Arnolda, one of the 8 great generals under the throne of the science fiction star, died in Chu Wei's hands when his realm was suppressed to the king level. So no one dares to challenge Chu Wei in the king level. In the future, those who dare to trouble Chu Wei openly must be masters at the emperor level or above. Chu Wei urgently needs to improve his strength. He doesn't want to rely on the letter or the blank card for the rest of his life. Ding. The system detects that the host has received 9 consecutive gold treasure chests. This is the 10th time. If the host gets a treasure chest again, it will be multiplied by 10. Chu Wei was shocked, and then surprised. The treasure chest was multiplied by 10. Doesn't that mean that if he gets 1,000 spiritual crystals in the treasure chest, it will be 10,000 points? In this way, isn't it about to enter the realm of the emperor? Sure enough, it is worthy of my plug-in system. It can detect my needs. Chu Wei needs a lot of spiritual crystals to upgrade, and this system immediately launched a multiplication activity by 10. What else can Chu Wei say? This can be said that this plugin is too considerate. Ding. I am the host's considerate little cotton jacket. Chu Wei. The system was originally the property left to him by his father, the God King, whom he had never met. It is normal for it to detect his needs and then set up reward arrangements to help him. After all the resources in the entire system have long been designed by the program, and the system is just an executor. Rather than saying that the system is a cheat, it is better to say that Chu Wei originally has a huge treasure of inheritance. The system helps him keep it, and only gives him a little bit when he needs it, and it will not give him all at once. It will give him step by step after he meets the conditions for inheriting the inheritance. Ding. The host's opponent this time is from. As the light on the ring screen lit up, Chu Wei's 3 opponents today came on stage one by one, and were then beaten and defeated by Chu Wei. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a gold treasure chest. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting 1,200 spiritual crystals in the treasure chest. Congratulations to the host for multiplying the treasure chest by 10, and congratulations to the host for getting a total of 12,000 spiritual crystals. The host's current spiritual crystals are 12,150/12,800. The current king level 9. After Chu Wei got the treasure chest, Chu Wei was only 650 spiritual crystals away from the emperor level. Is my cheat too obvious? Chu Wei suddenly felt that he was promoted too fast. You should know that there are at least tens of thousands of kings on earth, but there are very few emperors, at most only 100. It can be seen that it is not so easy to enter the emperor realm, but for Chu Wei, there is no pressure at all. It seems that the prince of the God King planet is different from ordinary people. This is like a poor person who may only be able to buy one sports car in his lifetime, but as a rich person, he may have countless sports cars at birth. And Chu Wei is obviously the rich man with a mine at home. So if people know about Chu Wei's way of promotion, they will definitely be jealous. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 947. It seems that tomorrow we only need to go somewhere to get some elixir to enter the realm of the emperor. Hey. Being the son of a boss really feels like there are fewer challenges in life. Others have to work hard to reach such a small level. As for me, I can take pills at will and multiply them by 10 if I find a treasure chest. This kind of life really lacks challenges. Chu Wei shook his head with a smile on his face, although he usually acted mature and calm in front of others. But after all, he is still a young man of about 18 years old. When facing the system, the person he trusts most, Chu Wei will always show his childish side from time to time. System, the host's ability to show off is almost at its peak now, and he may have the opportunity to become the king of sea persuasion in the future. Chu Wei. The next day, it was not long after dawn. Lord of Tianhuan City, why don't you come out quickly to greet me? Outside the manor of the city lord's palace, a man in black robe shouted outside the iron gate. This man was tall, 2 meters away. His height alone was enough to cause great oppression to many short people. Feel. This man had a flame tattoo on his face, and he looked fierce. Where did this madman come from? He actually dared to yell at the door of the city lord's mansion. Don't you know how to write the word death? The guard at the gate of the city lord's mansion pointed his gun directly at this man. He was really a madman. This was the city lord's mansion. Who would dare to speak loudly here on weekdays? Who does this man think he is? He actually asked the city lord to come out to pick him up. I'm afraid it's a lunatic with water in his head. Are you talking to me? The flame-faced man asked coldly. I'm not talking to you, am I talking to a lunatic? Let me tell you, while the uncle is in a good mood now, otherwise, I can do it just because you are yelling at the door of the city lord's mansion and disturbing the great city lord's rest. Put some holes in your body. When the time comes, no one can do anything to me even if you sue me to the King of Heaven. Although the guards of the city lord's mansion usually guard the door here, they are still from the city lord's mansion. They are used to fighting with others. Of course, they will not take a stranger in this Tianhuan city seriously. You guys are so brave, but it's a pity that you won't survive. The flame-faced man said coldly, his eyes flashed with light, and his entire pupils turned into pitch black, and then a dark door suddenly appeared in front of several guards. The door is surrounded by arms, which is very weird. What's this? It seems like I've never seen it before. What the hell is this? Why does it feel so creepy? The few guards looked at the pitch black area inside the door, which made them feel a little scared. This is the door to hell. You all should die regretting your unreasonable treatment of me. You will die in pain. The flame-faced man sneered and waved his hand. Pull. The arms on the gate directly grabbed the guards together, and then threw them into the gate, and then the gate disappeared. Also disappearing were the guards. Help, no. Ah. My hand. Ah. My legs. These were the voices of the guards just now. Although their bodies disappeared along with the strange door just now, their voices still echoed at the door of the city lord's mansion, just like they were still here. The miserable cry didn't last long, and then became completely silent. Then something even stranger happened. Where the strange door disappeared just now, there was actually a stream of blood flowing out. The place where the blood was flowing out was obviously nothing at the moment, just a blank space. At first glance, this picture looked like a blank space where blood suddenly flowed out. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 948. Who called me? At this moment, a man with a gorgeous figure and gorgeous clothes came out of the city lord's mansion. The spiritual energy around him was surging. Apparently, he had noticed that someone was fighting at the gate of the city lord's mansion. Such initiative really looked down on him as the city lord. Tianhuan City is a big city, and he who can become the city lord has the strength of the king's 7th level. When the spiritual energy wave was released at this moment, the surrounding trees, flowers, and plants were all bent down by the powerful spiritual energy wave. And when he walked across the road, some closely spaced stones on the ground turned into powder. The Lord of Tianhuan City is quite impressive. The flame-faced man at the door smiled disdainfully, and his body shook. A dark power floated behind his body, and then a black door with arms full of arms formed behind him. It was pitch dark inside the door, but you could vaguely see pairs of scarlet-like eyes inside the door, some of which looked like wild beasts, and some of which looked like demons. From time to time, a strong smell of blood would float out of the door, making this black door look particularly strange. The Lord of Tianhuan City, who was still menacing in the distance, trembled after seeing the dark door. His original ferocious aura completely disappeared, replaced by the fear in his pupils. This dark door represents a terrifying figure. This man has killed countless people, and he likes to exterminate families. But anyone he targets, no matter how big the family is, will be killed by him alone. He will not let go of women or babies. Even if it was an enemy's dog, he would skin that dog. This person has a name that makes people tremble, the Messenger of Hell. He is used to using a kind of space gate martial arts called, Gate of Hell. It is said that there are countless black arms on the Gate of Hell, which is the gate behind the person in front of the Lord Tianhuan City. It turns out that the messenger from hell is here. Why didn't you inform me in advance? I'll prepare a banquet to welcome you. The Lord of Tianhuan City said in an extremely humble voice that the reputation of the Hell Messenger was too terrible, and he did not dare to offend him in the slightest. Although everyone is from Science Fiction City, as long as this Hell Messenger is unhappy, I am afraid he will kill even a powerful person. It's not necessary for Ji Feng, but I heard that you have a very beautiful wife. I just like other people's wives, so I just ask your wife to accompany me. The Hell Messenger said calmly, not thinking that such words would bring much insult to the normally aloof city lord. The Lord of Tianhuan City put his hands behind his back, clenched his fists until they turned white, and gritted his teeth and said, "Master Messenger, she is my wife, I can find other beauties for you." Before the city lord finished speaking, the hell messenger came to the city lord like a ghost. He looked at the city lord condescendingly at a height of 2 meters and said disdainfully, "Don't talk nonsense to me. I say whoever you want is whoever you want. If you offend me, I will kill your whole family." The hell messenger's tone was contemptuous and disdainful, leaving no room for negotiation. Then he said, "Chu Wei has come to your territory now. He may be wearing a mask, but beside him is a beautiful woman named Jin Moer. This is her photo. Find out where they live. Then tell me. I was named this time and came specifically to kill him." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiang ZK. Chapter 949. Now, I'm going to go in and find your wife first. Hee hee. The hell messenger smiled and glanced at the Tianhuan city lord who was trying his best to hold back. He didn't care at all and walked directly into the city lord's mansion. Crunch. Looking at the leaving figure of the hell messenger, the city lord, who was at the 7th level of the king, clenched his fists loudly. His eyes were blood red. Any normal man would be angry if someone said such words about occupying his wife. Furious. Of course, the lord of Tianhuan city is no exception. But he still needs to be patient, because he doesn't want dozens of members of his family to die, because he can't afford to offend this messenger of hell. Even if he takes over his wife, he can't afford to offend him. 2 hours later. The hotel where Chu Wei stayed. "Chu Wei, you didn't sleep with me yesterday. Are you a normal man?" Jin Moer asked loudly after getting up. Chu Wei. After Chu Wei came out of the 9-story extreme tower yesterday, he fell asleep directly on the sofa. "By the way, you don't have some male functions that you don't have, right?" Jin Moer looked at Chu Wei seriously and asked. Thinking that she, Jin Moer, has a first-class figure and appearance, isn't it questionable that this man actually sleeps on the sofa instead of sleeping with his girlfriend? "I just advanced yesterday," Chu Wei told the truth. However, it was better if Chu Wei didn't say anything. As soon as Chu Wei said it, Jin Moer said directly, "Jiang, Jin, is my beauty, Jin Moer, not as beautiful as Jin? Do you still have me in your heart?" "Chu Wei. I just didn't sleep with you, do I need to react so much? Tell me honestly, are you thinking of someone else? Do you think I'm not beautiful enough? Are you?" A series of questions directly confused Chu Wei. Girls are indeed strange creatures sometimes. "I'll leave first. I'll wait for you to eat downstairs." Chu Wei immediately grabbed the door and ran away. "You can't help teasing me." Looking at Chu Wei's leaving figure, Jin Moer smiled, feeling very accomplished. The two of them had breakfast downstairs. Jin Moer was wearing short sleeves and shorts today, which highlighted her perfect long legs. So when they were downstairs, a large number of people were looking at the girl next to Jin Moer. Chu Wei cast an envious look. "Get out of the way, get out of the way. The city lord's mansion is doing business." A group of armored city lord's palace guards entered the building and surrounded the entire restaurant. At the same time, several guards, led by the lord of Tianhuan city, came to the dining table where Chu Wei and Jin Moer were eating. "Chu Wei, Jin Moer, you are such a famous name that I have admired for a long time." The city lord took a look at the pictures on his subordinate's cell phone, compared them with Jin Moer's photos, and confirmed that the two people in front of him were Jin Moer and Chu Wei he was looking for. "What, is this man Chu Wei? Is he the Chu Wei who dares to offend Chengtian sect and Tuzang sect alone? Not only that, I heard that he also killed the branch director of Science Fiction City. He alone offended the three major forces. This is nothing. If this man is really Chu Wei, then he must be too courageous. This is Bizhu, which is only 2 days away from the headquarters of Science Fiction City. If Chu Wei dares to appear here, he is really brave. People around him began to talk. Most people thought that if the man in front of him was really Chu Wei, then he was really too courageous. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 950. Science Fiction City is one of the 7 major forces on the Earth. It has become very famous in recent years. 3 people who had enemies with Science Fiction City once attacked Science Fiction City together. And these 3 are all masters in the Emperor realm, and one of them is even a strong person in the 9th level of the Emperor realm. Such a figure, which one is not a big shot in guiding a country, but even such a strong combination was easily defeated by Science Fiction City. Among the 3 masters of the Emperor's realm, only the level 9 figure escaped, and he was also seriously injured, with half of his body missing. The other 2 powerful men in the realm of emperors were captured alive, then skinned, cramped, their eyes, ears and noses gouged out, and hung on the building of the Science Fiction City headquarters for public display. This is to tell everyone that anyone who dares to mess with him in Science Fiction City, even if they are in the realm of emperors, will only die. From then on, no one dared to go wild in Science Fiction City. Because everyone knows that the strength of Science Fiction City is unfathomable and cannot be offended. However, today, a hostile young man dared to come to the headquarters of Science Fiction City. This is really unbelievable. Under everyone's surprised gazes, Chu Wei raised his hand and tore off the mask on his face, revealing his original handsome face. It's really Chu Wei. That's right, it's Chu Wei. I've seen his photos. His handsome and breathtaking face will never be forgotten in my life. I didn't expect it was Chu Wei, and he actually came to Bizhu alone. Is he going to fight against Sci-Fi City alone? Everyone was surprised and confused at the same time, because Chu Wei was rumored to be a very smart and decisive young man. He alone caused heavy losses to the Chengtian sect and the Tuzang sect, and he was a true young hero. Nowadays, whenever Chu Wei is mentioned on Earth, basically no one does not know Chu Wei's name. But would such a famous young man come to Bizhu, where the Science Fiction City is located, to die alone? This is obviously not what Chu Wei would do. So everyone was surprised. What? Are you the only one here? Do you think you can deal with me? Chu Wei sat on the table and spoke calmly without leaving the table. A small Tianhuan city lord whose strength was no more than the 7th level of the king, such a person was not worthy of his attention. The city lord of Science Fiction City's eyes froze, and he thought who would not call him city lord respectfully after seeing him when he was walking in this fantasy city. Who dares to despise him so much? But today is not a good day, because today he has been despised by 2 people in a row. But he didn't dare to get angry at all, because the young man in front of him, like the messenger from hell, was someone he couldn't afford to offend. I consider myself no match for you, but the person who is looking for you today is not me, but someone else. Hell messenger, come out, the person you are looking for has been found. Lord Tianhuan City shouted loudly. He, Lord Tianhuan City, you are such a complete waste. You can't even hold such a 18 or 19-year-old baby. It's such an embarrassment to our Science Fiction City. Just as Tianhuan City Lord's face turned green and green after being ridiculed, a disdainful voice and figure walked in from the door of the building. He is tall, especially with the black flame tattoo on his face. He looks alien and perverted at first glance. Such people are the most difficult to mess with.